everyone, it's Hayes, and in today's video we're going to be looking at the episode titles for Season 6, episodes 14 to 26, and talking about some theories based on the titles we got the other day. And yes, you heard that correctly, 14 to 26, I decided to split it in half, just so it'd be a bit more easier for me to manage, and also just so the video wasn't mega long for the rest of you, so I will link above in a card and down below in the description box at the first half in case you missed it. So we've received the titles in both English and French now, and for some episodes we're going to look at both of the languages, as I feel like some titles do reveal slightly different things depending on which translation we're looking at. And as always, I've been through the comments to steal your ideas to combine with mine, so I'll leave a pinned comment with the usernames of all the people I stole from. Anyway, let's start, and strong start with 614, Grendeaper, or Kocharak, and it's a strong start because I've no idea what any of it means, at all. I have theory ideas for everything else, all the rest of the episodes, but not this one. I don't even know what the title even is supposed to mean, what language it's even meant to be. What? I'm thinking of grenades and diapers for the English title, and we don't even call them diapers here. And then couches and cockroaches for the French title. But how any of that is related to each other, or Miraculous just in general, I don't know, I'm just confusion.
So I am confusion.
615 is the ruler, or la Regissus, I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly. So in French, la tresse, from the way I'm interpreting it, from what I've read online and in the comments, please tell me if I'm wrong though, is that it refers to straightening things, but in the sense of clothing, so it isn't like, sounds like helping like getting people dressed and stuff like that. Ruler, the English version title of the episode, doesn't mean that in the slightest. It refers to someone who is in charge, usually. So perhaps it's a mix between the two of them. A fashion person who is also in charge and slightly evil. I know a lot of people think this episode could be the one with the coaching that we've seen in the Season 6 stuff so far, but I'm not really sure how that plays into the French title of this episode, to be honest. So if it's got something to do with clothes, perhaps this is a Julika episode since she wanted to be a model, or at least she did in Reflect All, and I don't believe she's really spoken about that ambition since. So, who knows? 616 is Noe? I'm not sure how you should pronounce it in either language, which I unfortunately think is related to Chris. Why do I think this? Because as I found out this week, in the French dub, Chris isn't called Chris is called Noel. Why they changed it to Chris for the English dub, don't know, since at least in the UK anyway, Noel is a boy's name, spelled the same way, so alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
So if this episode is related to Chris, I'm unsure why the episode title hasn't been changed for the English dub, but okay. And if it is for Chris, does that mean it's going to be a Christmas episode? 517, A Fairy Goodnight, or Le Fée de Beaux Rêves, which just means the fairy of beautiful dreams. So yeah, pretty similar. I said when the titles were released that it reminded me of Samboy. However, as we all know in Samboy gave nightmares to people. So I think instead this could be a mix of Samboy, but with jubilation, where the dreams are nice, like the dreams are given to you forcefully, but they're quite nice dreams, but they eventually end up hurting your feelings, like they did in Jubilation. And as I've mentioned Jubilation, I then therefore think this could maybe be a Rose episode. There's just like this title gives the vibes of Rose vibe. Rose vibes are given with the title of this episode in both languages. Episode 17 is the Dirty Fires, or the Catastrophes. I can't pronounce the made-up French words. I can't do it. Anyway, so classe in French means something dirty, something filthy, and the second part seems to come from catastrophe, which is obviously catastrophe in English, so some sort of dirty catastrophe. And because to me, personally, this sounds like it's environment related, I'm thinking this is maybe a Milen episode. Up next is Regina Razione. Again, sorry about pronunciation. Apparently it's in Italian. I don't know any Italian. But it seems to point to perhaps Gina, which is Marinette's grandma. Regina means queen in Italian, and Razione means like rational. Someone help me, I don't know any Italian, as I've said. I can say hello and excuse me, I am useless. So if you didn't know, Gina, Marinette's grandma, is Italian, but so apparently is Lila. However, I don't know if that's the lie. No clue. So it could perhaps refer to whichever of her mums are Italian. I'm assuming she said she's Italian because one of the mums is Italian. but I don't know which one. Maybe the original one, the one we see in Heroes Day. But I'm not confident about that anymore. Who knows? 620 is heart fixer or renverse cœur. Renverse means overturn and cœur means hearts. So overturned hearts. However, overturned hearts, a literal translation of the title, seems to be the absolute opposite to the English version of the title. You know what I mean? They don't seem like a good translation of each other. However, the episode title alone makes me think about Heart Hunter, which was the season 3 finale, the first part of it. And like the episode, I think it could have a love focus, romance focus, relationship focus. I've talked in previous videos about how Adrian will eventually find out what's been going on and will break up with Marinette. So perhaps this is the episode for that. Since it also seems to reference Heart Hunter though, perhaps this has a Chloe and a Zoe focus, and their secret brother Joey. I think there might be some other contenders in the mix here though, like for example maybe Kim, since his Akuma is Dark Cupid. And I also think Natalie could be a contender, since her last name, Sonker, literally translates when you break it up, without heart.
This is fine.
621 is the Chain Titan, or Lita Tension, which means the same thing. Titans, if you don't know, are part of Greek mythology and were basically in charge before Zeus yeeted them. However, this title reminds me of this clip from Time Tagger.
In the future, you've defeated Dr. Sadness, the Eclipsed Invaders, Pain and Tears, the twin queens of the inner dimension.
Now, Bunnix calls them Pain and Tears, the twin queens of the inner dimension, not the Chain Titans, but I doubt they're going to call an episode Pain and Tears, the twin queens of the inner dimension. I could totally be wrong about this though. I have no other proof to fuel this. It's just my miraculous Ladybug instincts, because there's 2 of them. It's more than one Akuma, so I'm like, this. I don't know though. 622 is Lady Chaos, and I think we've all come to the same conclusion by now. This is Marinette Akumatized. Yes! So, the proof of this, why people are thinking this, if you're not sure, the lady prefix, Marinette is pretty much always lady something whenever she changes her form, whether it's a miraculous fusion. There's been very few times when she hasn't been lady something, and if you didn't know, Cat Blank was episode 322 and Ephemeral was 422. One of those episodes was far better than the other. I'll let you decide which one for yourself. Hint, it's not ephemeral. But both episodes were intended to be major events in the Miraculous timeline that got reversed. So I would assume this will be reversed as well. But in the meantime, I think perhaps Alia, Luca, or Felix, or some kind of combination of those, will take charge in this episode to save the day. Because I would assume Marinette's identity gets revealed. Adrian won't be okay, and they'll have to reverse it all, because obviously. 624 is Sad Nancy or Trist Anansi. Trist is just French for sad, so it's pretty much the same thing. So Anansi, Alia's older sister, is sad about something and gets akumatized. I think the obvious route here is to jump that this episode will be Alia focused, since, you know, it's her older sister. And while I definitely think Alia's going to be involved, I actually think this is going to be a Nino-focused episode. The original Anansi episode is when Nino debuts with the Turtle Miraculous, so I actually think this episode might be more of a Nino focus than an Alia focus, but I definitely think she'll be in it. So 24 is Queen of the Dread Zone, or La Reine de Freyaville. So Reine means queen, Freya is fear, and Ville is just city, so it's not an exact translation, but to me it's the same thing roughly. I think this possibly could be a Chloe Akuma name. Queen, we have Queen Bee, Queen Wasp, Queen Miracle Queen even, and the city in question would be Paris. So her Akuma is causing fear in Paris, and she's this queen reigning over it all because she's still salty about her, 2-3 day stint as Paris's first ever child mayor, because this is a normal place. And then we have the finale, but I don't know if it's going to be a 2-part finale here. All of them have been, apart from Volpina, of course, in season 1, but the rest of them have been parts, but there are no other 2-parters in this. They have each episode has its own individual name, but then the 2-parters have a collective name. So you have Transmission and Deflagration, but together they were the Kwame's choice. You know what I mean? So there's maybe they just weren't included in this release, and there are parters, we just don't know which one's which yet. So I don't know. I'm just kind of used to it ending on a 2-parter. So right now I am assuming this is a 2-parter, 25 and 26, but I'm not 100% confident because We don't know at the time of making this video. But anyway, 25, secret protocol, the French is the exact same. So some kind of secret plan, possibly Lila's secret plan that she's been building up all season. However, in the finale, the title often refers to more than one thing. So maybe it's alluding to Marinette having kept the secret from Adrien and Cat Noir all season long, and Alias and others, or like Felix and Kagami, are kind of in on the secret. And maybe Cat Noir also has a plan to get Ladybug to tell the truth to him. So it's like secret protocols from like 3 different people, maybe even more people. I definitely think Tomaway's up to something. Don't know what yet though exactly. And I think for sure these secrets could affect Nemesis, which is the last episode, where while Nemesis is definitely the name probably of the Akuma villain in that episode, who I'm not sure who that could be though. It also could mean that Ladybug and Cat Noir become enemies. They become each other's nemesis because they find out what the other person has been doing. Although, unless Cat Noir starts doing some really weird things during the season, I definitely think Cat Noir is going to be more annoyed at Ladybug than she is at him. But there you go, besties. Those are all of my thoughts on all of the episode titles. Now, of course, like I said, if you missed 1 to 13, it was in the previous video. This was only 14 to 26, so if you still want to know our thoughts on the first 13, go to the other video. But there you go, besties. Those are my thoughts on episodes 14 to 26. I'd love to know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one.